You ever jump into a game expecting one thing, but getting something completely different? That was my experience when it came to inKONBINI, which is a simulator game with a slice of life setting and plot, where you play as Makoto, who's put in charge of the night shift of her aunt's convenience store. As such, she has to take care of tasks around the store, such as ordering stock, restocking shelves, and reorganizing shelves when something's in the wrong spot. Which is what I expected this game to be, where you would take over the convenience store, manage it night by night, completing tasks. But that's not what inKONBINI is about as a game. It's part of the game, but it's like the smallest part of the game there is. Instead, the main focus of inKONBINI is in the dialogue and stories from the different characters you come across. Every night you manage the store, you're given a set of tasks to complete during that night. But more importantly, every night sees a couple different visitors that come in to do some shopping. And each of these characters has a full life and story to tell you. And they want to talk to you about it. Like a little boy named Satoshi who's looking to start his own business, and comes to the store to help shop and find things for the elderly in his local town that he can deliver to, hoping to one day open a huge business and make a lot of money doing it. But as the days go on, you learn more about him and help him on his journey. And you also get details about him from other customers as they come in, or when you bring him up to other customers who are interested in what he's doing, which is where the meat of this game comes from. Talking to the different people who come into the store and just learning about their lives and helping them make decisions when they visit the store. Which is not what I expected when I first started playing this game. I expected to be managing the store, more running around restocking shelves and making sure that customers could find what they're looking for. You know, a store management simulator. But I'm kind of glad that was in the background of this game, because I quickly realized I would not be good at this game if that was the main focus. Because something I didn't quite think of before jumping into this game was I have no idea what most of the products in this store are. Simply because it's heavily stylized on the culture of convenience stores in Japan, which I've been to Japan, and I struggle to navigate those stores in person, so I have no idea how I was expecting I would be able to manage one and know what I was doing. The game is luckily very handholdy when it comes to those mechanics and merely suggests the tasks you do, not scoring you or scolding you for missing something, because it doesn't want to have that get in the way of its main focus, the customers. With different customers coming in on different nights you're working, with the game slowly introducing the characters that'll come into the store every couple nights, or possibly every night, like Chief. And you can see their stories progressing little by little, while relaxing and laying back. And the dialogue between Makoto and the different customers as well as her aunt keep you invested. And luckily, there's little notes you can refer back to in case you forgot something that a customer told you. Like Chief, who will come in and start looking to buy something for his pet cat, which has been very timid toward him. And he'll ask you for help to find the right food that he wants to get his cat, or some special treats that might help Chief with the problems he's having with his cat. But talking to Chief isn't the only way to learn his story. Through conversations with your aunt, you'll learn more about Chief and get more details into his life, as well as his history with your aunt and the convenience store as a whole. And there's new twists and turns and plot that develops over the course of the game, with every night bringing new stories to the store. But be ready if you jump into this one to do a lot of reading, because I would say about 90% of this game is reading. And the game's writing and dialogue is thankfully its high point. I actually got really invested in the stories of these characters and their lives. And I would get excited when I got to see a character again. I would get an update on the progress of whatever it is we were talking about. Which again, I need to reiterate, was not what I was expecting walking into this game. It was like I ordered some food for takeout from a restaurant. But when I got home and opened up the bag, I realized I got the wrong order. But somehow what I got in that wrong order ended up being better than what I originally intended to order. Which I'm struggling to find another game that tricked me like this. Not that the game intentionally tricked me, I think it was more I tricked myself as I wasn't paying as much attention about the game as I thought I was. And I think if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have played inKONBINI in the first place. Because the game I played is not the kind of game that I typically like to play. I'm not a big fan of visual novel games, unless there's some kind of hook that gets me beyond the visual novel part. So a game like inKONBINI, which is heavily dialogue-based, was not something I would have started playing had I known that going in. But I'm very glad I decided to play it in the end. So if hearing the game is very dialogue-heavy has you kind of iffy on the game, I can say this is the perfect game to play a little bit before bed, as a nice relaxing game, kind of like reading a book, which is more or less what this game is. A book that you're progressing through as a game. But that also means if you're not a big fan of visual novels, this might not be the game for you. I'm still shocked I enjoyed the game as much as I did. I think my only complaint walking away from this game is that I wish that I had more of a focus on teaching you the management parts of it, as I feel like I was doing those parts of the game completely wrong. simply because the game kind of just throws you into it and goes restock these shelves and make sure the store is tidy without too much context on how to do those things. Which I get these mechanics are kind of a side part of the game, and I would almost argue they're optional to an extent. But there are some you need to do in order to progress in the game. And ironically enough, I feel like these parts slowed the game down from what I wanted more of, which was a close out for the night so I could come back the next day and see who would come into the store. Overall, I would say if you're looking for a nice, relaxing, and cozy game, inKONBINI is probably one of the best options out there, especially for something to wind down at the end of the night too. Everything from the stories of these characters, the simple relaxing music, and the very chill atmosphere the game gives. This is quite literally just a cozy book in game form. And for that, I kinda appreciated it for what it was. Even though it's not what I was expecting walking into it, I did really enjoy this one. And if that sounds good to you and you want to check out the game for yourself, links to do so are in the description below. And if you like this review and want to see more, hit that subscribe button and check out our other videos. And if you played inKONBINI, I want to know what your thoughts are on the game. Until next time, this is Brad with the Bickering Nerds.